An ex-CDC director proves that we conspiracy theorists were right yet again!
NANI?!
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is now investigating deaths potentially linked to COVID-19 vaccines across multiple age groups. Former CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield has publicly called for the removal of mRNA COVID vaccines altogether.
Wow.
Didn't another expert who happened to be a ex-Pfizer executive happen to say that these vaccines were severely undertested and that people were lied to about them as well too in our last video? It's totally hard to imagine that these vaccines have been that dangerous, you know, despite many experts, well known or not, have been proving these serious injuries for years though, right? Well, I guess it would be for many because the legacy media plus big platforms including CensorTube and its parent company have been profiting from promoting lies and censoring the truth.
FBI, open up! Cops! FBI! Clear right!
Personally, I'd like to see it eliminated. When I give you an mRNA vaccine, what I do is I turn your body into a spike protein production factory. And spike protein is a very immunotoxic protein. But I don't know how much you make. And I don't know how long you make it.
That's from a well-established ex-CDC director who also was saying that we shouldn't exclude COVID-19's origins potentially being from a lab too, in the thick of all the hype around it in 2020. Oh, but he's just a loony conspiracy theorist since he didn't go with what was cool and followed unpolitical and unbiased science though, right? Now, you really won't see the legacy media talk about this unless maybe in an attempt to cover their asses yet again. Did I say that? Well, it is the truth.
These are not fringe figures, they are products of the very system that once policed dissent. The implications are enormous if vaccines that were described as unequivocally safe are now subject to death investigations. Then the story the public was told was at best radically incomplete. At worst, it was deliberately curated to protect authority rather than the truth.
Yeah, remember all that propaganda like the vaccine musical numbers and the sexy Fauci insinuations?
Oh my God, Sharon, remember that Anthony Fauci guy? Just so sexy talking about those vaccines. Like, I wish he'd inoculate me with his vaccine.
Now let's take a look at the other end of the spectrum here as this curtain is being pulled back on this undeniable truth that's coming out on these vaccines.
Then there is the intervention from another former CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, who recently suggested that if vaccine manufacturers are not protected from liability for injuries, they may simply choose not to make vaccines. This statement should have detonated public debate. Instead, it passed with little scrutiny.
So basically, in other words, it shows a real lack of integrity. They were just so full of integrity from the get-go before this, right? The fact of the matter that they know that many of these aren't as safe as they claim is fucking crazy. Then, you know, let's also not forget the fact of the matter that they're not properly tested in the first place like many other drugs too. They're approved first time around without any real testing being done too, by the way. That's because 50 to 52% of the FDA's funding comes from these big pharma companies that's supposed to be regulated. Now it seems like quite a conflict of interest, doesn't it? Let's not forget that the legacy media has been in on this too, kids.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
This weather report brought to you by Pfizer.
So the media sits at the center of this crisis. News outlets are now forced to report official findings acknowledging that vaccines can cause heart damage, particularly in younger populations. At the same time, those same outlets continue to run glowing, almost nostalgic stories about the triumph over COVID vaccine. 5 years on. The tension is glaring, harm is acknowledged in one column while success is celebrated in another, as if the two realities do not collide. This contradiction is not accidental. The pharmaceutical industry is one of the largest advertising forces in American media. In 2024 alone, drug companies spent over $10.1 billion on prescription drug advertising across television, print, and digital platforms. This financial relationship does not require explicit censorship to shape coverage. It creates an atmosphere where certain questions are softened, certain voices elevated, and certain conclusions delayed.
Because it's all about the... Now, RFK Jr. and other health officials currently in place, aside from the FDA, are changing things with the vaccine schedule and getting proper testing done and stuff like that, at least. So we got to give credit due where credit is due. Now, if you guys want to see even more about all the pandemic truths they're not going to tell you guys in the legacy media on the truth coming out about these big pharma vaccines, check out our last video before this one and CensorTube. That'll be at the end for you. It kind of seems more and more, like all of us conspiracy theorists are actually right about a lot of these things. But that's enough about what I think. What do you guys think, my adoring tribe members, new viewers, etc.? Let us know your guys' thoughts and opinions and concerns about COVID, lockdowns, and these vaccines in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear them. As usual, though, my dudes, if you guys did make it to this point in the video, go and leave the phrase "Deep State Eat My Cake" in the comment section down below, so let me know that you made it to the end and that you guys are part of the 1,000,000% tribe. As usual, if you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to, hit that like button and destroy the shit out of the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me, and more importantly, it also helps us to get even further in the CensorTube algorithm out to even more people, to let them know that it's okay to question these shitty, corrupt systems we live in, and that it's perfectly natural to do so. Also, if you guys would like a more interactive experience with us, come join us live every Wednesday and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, where we talk about conspiracy facts such as this, play a variety of games such as Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, etc., whatever really floats the mood, or, chill out and have a good time, make some dark humored memes, and just vibe out, As usual, though, my dudes, I appreciate you guys very much for being here. Thank you. Much love. And until next time, please don't forget to live long and prosper. Take care and peace. Keep it 1,000,000% real. And as always, fuck the system. I will see you guys on the flip side. Z-Trim.
My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American.